Hey there, it's Jessie. Welcome back to our channel. So today I was going to take you through my February budget. If you hear anyone pouting, Cora is underneath me, my dog, so she's making a lot of noise. She's pissed because I took her toys away. Anyway, today's video is going to be all about my February budget for myself. As you guys know, Ben and I have not combined our incomes quite yet, so I'm still working entirely on my own, but I did want to show you guys kind of what went on with my February budget, mostly because it was my first budget ever, so it was definitely interesting. I also was able to make a large payment toward my debt snowball only because I got my tax return back. So yeah, I just want to show you, like, I have a pretty good income. I live in Chicago where income is higher, but it's also extremely expensive to live. However, my debt and my expenses end up taking all of my money every month, as everyone else's does. So I hope that you enjoy this video, and like and subscribe if you haven't already. We put out videos all about wellness, health, relationship wellness, cleaning, non-toxic products, and how we budget. So keep on watching. Okay, so this is kind of what my budget looked like for February. As you can see, I block out my income as well as the income that I get from my side hustle. Eventually, whenever that goes up, I probably will break out my side hustle, but right now, the tiny amount of money that I get every month, I put toward my own bills. For Beautycounter this month, I actually made $14 in commission, which was great. I didn't make anything in AdSense. I didn't make anything from Ben's $90 payment. He ended up not paying me this month because I already owed him for something, whatever. So what the other is I got a little bit of money for my birthday. I made a bunch of money off of Poshmark actually because I decided to like sell all of my stuff. So yeah, that there's state taxes in there, there's regular taxes in there, there's so many different things in there. So I was estimating about $4,200 in income in February, and I actually made about $7,300, which is great. It all went toward expenses and a big loan payment, which I was really excited to make. So from there, all of my expenses are pretty normal. I paid rent, which is going to be going up in these next few months because the little extra, when we moved into this place, the only reason that we could afford it, we'll do a video about things that we probably shouldn't have purchased, but one of the things about this apartment was we both had very steady, pretty good incomes. Neither of us had too much debt, and the apartment offered us 3 months free rent, so we were going to pull that across multiple months. Unfortunately, then I went a little crazy with my spending. Ben got really sick and couldn't work for a bunch of months, and we ended up dipping into that pot for rent. Not on my side, but on Ben's side and on his business. So yeah, our rent is going to be more in the next couple of months. We are actually trying to get out of our lease, but it's proving to be difficult because people don't want to pay as much as we do for our apartment, which I don't blame them, which is why we're trying to get out of it. But anyway, that's just a long story. Next, all my payments for Canva, Libsyn, my coach, this will be going down this month as well. Apple, Google, those were all on point. Everything was on point. I only had one therapy session in February since it was a shorter month. Tailwind, I didn't have to pay anything for these, and I actually moved them to a different place in my March budget, or my April budget maybe, but that'll be out in a while. So savings was much more this month. I was able to put a whole bunch of money into my savings account so that I could hit that $1,000 emergency fund that Dave Ramsey tells you to do. And then I had a couple of issues where I had to take money out of my emergency savings because we had an emergency. And then I had to put more money back into my savings. So it's just kind of like this whole like system. But there is currently $1,000 in my savings account, in my emergency fund account, which is great. My car insurance, my electric was $6 less than it should have been, but that's fine. My commute was about $10 less than normal. However, my doctor, I had $75 in doctor fees from a few appointments that I had. Tolls and gas, we were under by about $5, and then my Verizon bill was on point. Next, I still owed my sister a little bit of money from my bachelorette party, which I was not anticipating, so I didn't save a bunch of money. So I thankfully paid her off in, that's Cora. I paid her off in systems, or in whatever. So that was paid off last month. I paid $2,000 toward my capital loan, which was amazing. I was able to cut that down and make a big payment. This is the first loan that I am trying to pay off. My Discover card, I paid $451 toward it. My car loan, I paid $300. Great Lakes loan is still $165.26, and my Mohila, however you say it, is $319.24. Then I spent about $3,421.65 in debt this month, which is good, but also sucks. Like, I just think about all the things that I could do with that money, which is why we're trying to become debt free. So my expenses, $6,000. My emergency fund, I did move this. As I said, it was my first budget. So this, I actually ended up changing a whole bunch of stuff to try to make it work for me. And I continuously am changing things based on different channels I watch and things like that. So that's where that is. So this is actually the area down here where I made some oopsies, which isn't surprising to me. So my grocery budget was over by $7, which isn't awful. Yes, I do spend, that's just for me, $250 a month. So I don't remember, I made a lot of little purchases. I have a problem with like going and buying chips and salsa. It's a problem. So I'm sure that that's part of it, but it was just a more expensive month. Last month we started being much better with organic food. So restaurants, I went almost double over what I was supposed to. So, and this notes section doesn't even tell you. I mean, I did like DoorDash. Like, I just have trouble with that. I like to go out to eat. I like to eat food that I don't have to make. So this is a big area where I spend a lot of my money, and I'm trying to figure out how to be better with that. So that's that. Medication, this is where the big thing came in. So I had a whole bunch of tests done, and I got my Mirena IUD out, which I talk about on my other channel, which is Jessie DeShane, if you ever want to check that out. But got my Mirena out, and because of that, I had to go on some hormonal supplements. Sorry about the sirens. I live in Chicago. There's always sirens. So yeah, this was like way more expensive than I was anticipating, which is where the dip in the budget or in the emergency fund came from. And then I ended up paying that back. But it was a weird month. My household was $34.30. I didn't spend as much as I normally do, or as much as I budgeted, I should say. These are all like guesstimates on budget as well. So my miscellaneous was, I had budgeted $0, and I realized that I need to budget for miscellaneous because my phone case broke at work. It just broke at work. So I had to get a new phone case. I screwed up a shipping thing on an affiliate thing that I was working on, so I had to pay her for shipping. I told her the wrong address. She shipped it to me. She's in a different country, so I didn't want her to have to pay for shipping twice because I'm an idiot. And then I Venmoed money to a friend of mine for her birthday. And then for Cora, I only spent $20 last month, which skyrocketed in March. If you haven't watched that video already, I'll link it down below. But yeah, so I only spent 20 bucks on Quora, and then I spent 0 on everything else. So yeah, this is kind of like being honest. My budget didn't sync up with my spreadsheet, like how much money I actually had left over. So I'm still trying to figure that out. I am owed about $50 in reimbursement from work, which sucks, from a trip that I took to Atlanta for work. So I'm still waiting on that, but that's only 50 bucks. So I'm not really sure what I screwed up here. I'm not like losing money. I'm just saying that something that I put in here wasn't correct, or I still had money from January that I just didn't budget. But that's first budget. Like I just, was trying to figure it out. So with that was my February budget. I hope that you enjoyed it. That was my first budget ever. As you can see, I went over in a lot of places. I was dealing with income that I don't normally get, as in my state taxes and my federal taxes. So that was exciting. I was able to put money toward my debt snowball, but at the same time, it's just hard to put money, to literally take this big chunk of money that you get and immediately put it toward debt, and it doesn't even pay it off. It's disheartening, but it's also exciting. So that's why we're on this journey. The beginning of the year is always difficult. We're still struggling from Ben being out of work for 4 months last month, and even though we haven't combined expenses, we still have expenses that are combined, like our rent, our food, Quora, all these things that I had to step up on, or things like that. So it's just been difficult, which is why we started budgeting, which is why we are working to pay off our debt. We have a lot of debt. I have about $82,000 of debt on my own. I know Ben has some of his as well. Most of mine is student loan, but I do also have 2 personal loans, as you saw, that I'm trying, well, 1 personal loan, 1 credit card that I'm trying to pay off. So that's kind of me spilling the beans on where my February budget was, how my first budget ever went, and it wasn't awful and it wasn't perfect, and I think that that's fine. I think that I'm just glad that I'm learning. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment down below if there are any other videos you would like to see on finances or anything else for this channel, and we'll be sure to stick it into our upcoming schedule. I'm so excited for this channel, and I can't wait to see it grow and to have a community here. So make sure to leave a comment down below with anything you'd like to tell us, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.